The thing is, we have to be careful when we speak like that. To take what is yours and give is fine, but it's to take what does not belong to you and decide you're going to give it to your children. My Uncle Spencer got throat cancer and died before his father. The morning blessings to you today is, God is not confused. You are. We are the one that are confused. So we are talking about spiritual prosperity. So good morning, beautiful people. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale it slowly, knowing that you are grounded, you're awake, and you are here. I want you to whisper the truth to your heart. Divine clarity already exists. Clarity is already there. I am tuning in because I know clarity is already in my life. I'm tuning in. So let's begin our morning rooted in this calm knowing that God is not confused. We seem to be the one that are confused. So if confusion is present, it's coming from within us, not from spirit, not from God, not from guidance, because we are the one that's confused. And we keep thinking, in many cases when we pray, that God is also deaf, dumb, and blind, because we keep asking for the same things over again. But the thing about prayer is that every time we speak, we pray. Every time we speak, we're bringing something out about us, whether we say it about others, whether we have disgusting actions that we do towards another human being, it does not belong to us. We have to be careful what we say. We have to make sure we understand what we're doing. So why we feel confused? Sometimes it's the energy of others we're absorbing. Have you ever asked yourself, why don't I know what to do? Why is God not answering me? Why does everything feel unclear? So questions like that. God has a plan. If you believe in a God, the universe has a plan. The sun has a plan, right? The trees have a plan. Everybody and every living thing has a plan. What is your plan? Be careful though. When your plan is to take from others, that can go awry. When your plan is to take what does not belong to you and claim it as yours, that plan can fall apart. You know, why does everything feel unclear? These questions rise when our mind, not our spirit, is in charge. We live in a world full of noise, opinions from others, fear, pressure, expectation, thievery, taking, demanding, thinking everything belongs to you, and it doesn't belong to that person. So many voices, and yet we ignore the one voice we should hear, the still small voice within. Let me tell you the truth for this morning. God is never confused. God is always speaking, but we are too distracted to hear the instructions. I say, the transformer is working, but the receiver is not aligned with the transformer. The universe is transforming to us. God is transforming. The trees are transforming. Everything is transforming, but we all know we're bent on going our way without considering it. Sometimes we say things that if only we knew, it would never materialize. As a young girl, a teenager, my dad always visited his father and his brothers. Now, he had many brothers and a father that was, very comfortable with a lot of possessions. So he had sons, and those sons he would let run those different estates in Dominica, maybe 4 or 5 of them. And then he was in business with his brothers also. So my dad refused to work for his father. When his father said to him after he studied, "You are going to work on an estate and run it for me," my father said, "No, I want to go make my own way. I want to plow my own fields. So he studied architecture and construction, and that's what he did. And he just saw. And when he saw, his father decided, I will bequeath things to him. And that happened. But one of those Sundays, when he was visiting his brother, my Uncle Spencer. Uncle Spencer was tall. And Uncle Spencer ran one of the estates, Macushri Estate. Now, they're talking, I don't know where I was, but this is what I heard my uncle said. My uncle said to my father and the other brothers that were there, I am willing, W-I-L-L, put it, my Macushri Estate to my sons. I heard that. That's all I can remember hearing. I have no idea why that stayed in my crow. And then later on, my dad said, I don't understand why he did that. It does not belong to him. So why would he take it and say he's going to give it to his sons? It doesn't belong to him. His father is not dead. He's working for his father. And the thing is, we have to be careful when we speak like that. To take what is yours and give is fine. But it's to take what does not belong to you and decide you're going to give it to your children. My Uncle Spencer got throat cancer and died before his father. His sons never got it. It was then given to us, another brother and a sister. So, are we supposed to do that? That is spirituality. Watch what you say. Do not take what you know is not yours and hand it to others and say you're taking it and doing what you want with it. God is never confused. God is always speaking. God is saying, follow the rules. Treat others as you desire to be treated. Do your best. Do your best for yourself. Do not take what does not belong to you and say you're going to do that, because just in case you do not know God's plan. If you're looking for someone to be a speaker at any of your events that you're planning, get in touch with me. My email address is right here, and you can contact me, and I would love to give you more about making life choices to you or any of the topic on living a fulfilled life. Have a great day. The only good thing that came out of Uncle Spencer passing was that my dad was also a smoker and he quit cold turkey. I remember all of that. And that's why I always say, do not take what is yours and hide it and not use it, but in the meantime, grab what is not yours. You just don't know. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. So if you have a bird already, do not run and grab another one. You will lose it. The dog and the reflection in the river. The dog had a bone in its mouth. When it went to the river, it saw the reflection. It went to grab the bone from the reflection. And he lost his own bone. So if we do not see the signs that we have to stop being so confused about what is ours and what is not ours, it is often a sign that we have stopped listening to God. You're not disconnected, you're just misaligned. Imagine a radio when it is not tuned to the right station. The music is gone, it's just muffled. So when you're doing things or saying things or taking actions like my uncle said it, he didn't take the action, he said it. It didn't happen. Others got it. Not one of his sons or his daughters inherited 1 ounce of Macushri Estate. It wasn't God's plan. You don't throw out the radio because it's broken. You simply adjust the dial. When you find yourself being so confused that you cannot differentiate which is yours, which is not yours, or what you should do or what you should not do, you simply must adjust the dial of your mind. When you're getting advice or you're doing things that are distorted, you have to be careful. When somebody takes a step and does an action to hurt you, they might hurt you emotionally, in many cases mentally, physically. They might hurt you financially, but they never can hurt you spiritually unless you open the door. The thing is, they did not do it to you. Whatever nasty action they took thinking it was affecting you, it can't. It only affects them. The thing is, later in life, when the result shows up, like my cousins, they didn't get it. They fought for it, but they couldn't get it. So we have to understand those things. It is not yours to take. Adjust the dial. God is not confused. We are the ones that are not listening. Let's tune into this morning. Ask yourself this. Where have I been seeking answers from people instead of prayer? Where? Who are these people that you're asking answers from? Instead of taking the time to meditate, taking the time to sit and view it. Meditation is challenging. If somebody tells you that I sit and I meditate and I never flinch or do anything, then they're sleeping. Meditation is constant course correcting on what is right, where you want to be. The simple thing, and it's so simple, the core of meditation is really to listen to your breathing or to follow your breathing, how your body is taking in air and releasing air. That's meditation. And that, my friends, is the most difficult thing to do. That's what it is. That is challenging, to sit there and just think and feel the thumping of the breath through you, to hear your breath and feel your heartbeat. You can't. We have to keep bringing it back. I do it every day and I have to keep doing it, bring it back. So when you start small. And when you are confused and you find you're doing things and you're not aligned and you can't sleep and you can't do this, stop whatever you're doing. Ask yourself some questions. Pause right here and speak this. Spirit of God, Spirit of the universe, I know you are not confused. I surrender my uncertainty to you. Show me what I've been too busy or too afraid to see. Spirit of God, you ask that question. I know you're not confused. I surrender my uncertainty to you. Show me what I am being busy, too busy, or too afraid to see. Often the answers are already in your life, but they are wrapped in silence. The divine doesn't shout. God does not panic. God whispers. It's in stillness and silence that we can feel the world around us. It's stillness and silence that we stop to be just grateful that today I woke up. When Yoko says, when she puts her feet on the floor, she goes, thank you. When I get off of my bed and I put my feet on the floor, I go, oh, thank you, Father God. I have a chance today to correct what I did yesterday. Not to correct it, but to make sure I don't repeat it in today. You see, God does not fight. When you wait on God, it works. It is sad that we do not have the patience and we do not take the time to connect. I make an effort, and I call it an effort. I take an action every day to step outside, maybe 15 minutes for the most after I have wake up, and just stand there. Stand in the presence of the universe. Listen to the birds and whatever the wind is doing, or the moon and the stars, or see all of these satellites they have all over the world. See some of them, because you know them, you can see them. They don't do anything, they're just bright. So, you see, often the answer already is in your life, but they're wrapped in silence, because God does not panic, and God does not shout, and God does not whisper. And to hear that whisper, you must quiet the storm within you. You cannot have to always fight to be successful. Sometimes success comes when you least expect. Clarity comes when we create space for it. and remove the things that are not there, that we're just dreaming. If your dream is to hurt another, how can you see where to put your feet? If you woke up this morning with the intention of making somebody else's life challenging, difficult, how can you see where to step? That's why I encourage you today to sit in stillness, even if it's just for 5 minutes. Don't matter if your brain, your mind takes off. Bring it back slowly. Don't get upset, because remember, God does not shout. Do not panic. You see, just relax. So you lost 4.9% of that 5 minutes, and only 1% of that 5 minutes were you able to hear your breath. Hey, tomorrow might be 1.5%. So the process is to keep it. No phone, no music, no fixing, just presence. It is even more amazing if you can sit outside and take your shoes off and feel the grass. I hear what you've been needing to know. You will hear what you're needing to know. Close your eyes. Picture yourself on a still lake. No ripples, no movement. In the center of that lake is light, soft, golden, pulsing with patience and with peace. The light is truth. It represents all you ever needed to know. It's been there all along. Now whisper this affirmation. The confusion is not from God. The truth already exists. I quiet myself to receive divine clarity. The confusion is not from God. The truth is already there. We have to quiet ourselves to receive divine clarity. We need to, quieting yourself doesn't mean you have to sit still all the time. What about having a meal and turning off the TV? What about just sitting with your dinner and you, your lunch, your breakfast and you, that cup of tea and you? I have a cup of black coffee, some collagen, and then I have this coffee that is special. And then I sit for it to be special. I make a creamy coffee. Of course, it has sugar, not sugar, but it comes, sweet milk or whatever. I love it. I make the coffee. It's hot. The cup itself has to be hot. So I heat the cup, put it in the microwave to get it hot. Then I put the cream in. Then I hit that. Then I make the coffee. And then I sit and I sip it slowly. No movement. I just do this until it's done. Because that is the time I want to give to that coffee. And I want to feel it going down my throat. That's special for me. So what is that one special thing you can do for yourself that sometimes you do it? And I always said, all of last year, I kept saying to you guys, ask yourself this question. What it is I do, and I love the feeling when I do it. What is it? Are you aware what it is that you do, that when you do it, you love the feeling that you get from doing it? Some of us mightn't remember, but if you're fortunate, blessed to know, do it again and slow down even more. And you'll see how much you'll get, how much clarity you'll get from that, because you see, you're no longer confused. You've been breathing in stillness. And then you breathe out that confusion. You breathe in peace. You breathe out overthinking. So God is not confused. We are. So I don't need to be either. God is not confused. So I do not need to be confused, because He created me, or she, the God, the universe, whatever created us. They're not confused. They knew I was going to be me. They knew you were going to be you. That's why we're so different. That's why we look different. Our languages are different. Everything about us, our stature is, and yet we were created from this God. So why in my life am I feeling confused? What distraction might be blocking my spiritual clarity? What would I hear if I truly became still? My friend Georgie said to me, when she knew she was still that day, and she said when the clarity hit her, she said, I actually jumped out of my chair. She said, I realized, oh, she said, but I was still. But it's when it suddenly became acknowledged in my head, acknowledging it hit me. I jumped out of my stillness. She said, it didn't last long, and I went right back again, and I stayed in my stillness. So what would you hear if you truly became still? What's one area I will stop trying to control and to trust? What is that? So you see, God is not confused. We are. The transformer of the universe, the angels and the saints, the trees and the moon and the stars, the animals and everything, they are not confused. We are. And we need to stop in stillness and silence and realize that we have no right to behave like this. There is no reason for that. We also have to realize that in our confusion, we are very destructive. Because when we are confused, we step into in front of others. You know why? The old people always say, stop walking before God. That means taking your plans and just believing you are in control. We're not in control. Not of that. We're only in control of the one thing that we cannot control. Our mind. That is what we have control over. But it is the most challenging thing to do. When we ask our feet to walk, it goes. When I do these things with my hand, it does. But I'm telling you, sitting here with you at 79 years old, that no, my mind does not always go where I decide to go. That is a sign that I am confused. And it's a constant job to work on it, to make it stay on track. It does not have to be always like that. It does not. But it is. Our mind is the only thing we can control. And yet, it is the only thing that is a constant challenge. So, watch your words. Watch what you're prophesizing. Watch what you're doing with what doesn't belong to you. Do not cross others. Do not step in front of them and then blame God when it doesn't turn right. If you do not know and you feel confused or you have no clarity or you don't know what to do, watch the signs that affect you when what you're doing is not aligned with what you're supposed to do. Lack of sleep, tossing and turning, forgetfulness, exhaustion, breathing deeply, overindulging, and knowing that it's not going to help. None of that helps. But because we are stepping ahead of God, or ahead of the universe, ahead of life, ahead of the moment. Like, remember when I started this, I told you guys, today is Thursday. Don't wish for Friday. That is jumping ahead of God and the universe. When you are in Friday, do not think of Saturday, because when Saturday shows up, Saturday will have something different to offer you. We lose 90% of our joy, our focus, and we lose sleep over it. When we sit in Thursday thinking of Friday, thinking of when you die, what will happen, thinking of this and thinking of that, whereas all we need is in the moment of time. All we need is now. Because the power of now is being in now. God is not confused. We are. So stop thinking that when you ask and 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 you never stop to be still, to listen to the communication coming from the transformer, because the receiver thinks it's whole and entire and it's on its own, it can do everything. Keep turning the knob on the radio until you hear the clarity of the sound of that person's voice. And that's the same thing we need to do with ourselves. So what I'm asking of you today, that realize where you are is exactly where you're supposed to be in this moment. Horrible, challenging, joyful, sweet. It's you that say, you're the one saying it. In that horrible, challenging, there's sweet. In that sweet, you might find fear. It's up to you to choose each one of them and take it apart. If a piece of the puzzle is missing, it's not complete. God is not confused. The universe is there and it does have your back. And God is certainly on your side. But if you do not try and turn your tune, you don't tune your station to either of those, then you will believe they are confused. They're not seeing me. They're not hearing my request. One young woman said this, and I've been kneeling for every Saturday on this person's carpet for years, and God is not giving me what I want. Maybe you should stop kneeling and go for a walk and see the magnificence of God. And if he can give, like he said, you know what, these people that read this Bible, I don't know why they don't read it themselves and understand it. Read it. The pastor has read it. Good for him. He's telling you what he got for himself out of it. You read it. What did he say? Look at the lilies of the field. They do not toil, they do nothing. And yet, he said, Solomon in all of his glory wasn't as beautiful as the lilies of the field. For example, the most common lily is the daylilies. You see them growing everywhere. On the banks of the river, on the mountain top, in the middle of my garden. I didn't plant them. But here are the daylilies. They just come up. They just shoot up. And they're beautiful. They come in different colors. So what? Solomon, God said, in all his glory was not as beautiful as the lilies of the field. And you think that man is confused, that woman is confused, the God you worship is confused? No, we are the one looking for something that doesn't exist in the moment of time, because we are not sitting here and realizing, I can breathe. Oh, yeah, I'm alive. I dare you to tell yourself this. If you're sitting down, are your feet crossed at the ankle? Are they flat on the floor? In the minute, no. Where are they? No, you're no minute. You're not aware. We have to be more aware. So guys, thank you so much for coming today. I appreciate you. And I hope that the morning blessing, that God is never confused, that we are the one that's confused. He's always speaking, but we're too distracted to hear his instructions. And that's why sometimes we trip. So thank you for coming. I love you. I respect you. I'm grateful you took the time to press the button and you're here today. And that is important. The most important thing for me today is one person heard me. And if it's you, thank you very much for coming.